Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Pisces in mid-October 2019. Hello, Pisces. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I always say weird stuff to you or sing to you guys. You guys are some of my favorite zodiacs, some of my favorite people in my life. It's great. Anyway, Pisces, hope everything in your life is going well and swimmingly and fantastically and just all that good stuff for you. Oh, man. Mid-October. Here we go. All right, guys. I don't think I have any announcements. Oh, well, I mean, general thank you to everybody who's here supporting the channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, you're welcome as well. It's been incredible, the growth that I've had over the past 2-3 months. It's been amazing, and I want to see that trend continue. So continued support of the channel is greatly appreciated. Now, Pisces. Shuffled off camera, that is your main spread there. We'll shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all of the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. Timestamp is in the description box if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get it personal with me. Follow the instructions. You tell me what you want. I work with you. It's a great deal. But if you have questions before you place an order, email me at the same address, okay? Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and comment, guys, and do all that fun stuff YouTube allows you to do. Again, it really supports the channel. It really helps me grow as a reader here on YouTube. And in general, I like reading comments and I like interacting with you guys. So if you want to tell me stuff, cool. If you want to shoot me an email, no. Don't shoot it at that email address. I'm going to eventually probably get another email just for like fan comments or like viewer comments or something like that. Things that you may not want to share out in the public down in the YouTube comments, okay? So please don't email me at that address that's in the description box. This fell to the ground as I was mumbling or rambling on here. King of Wands. Some of you might have an interconnection, sure, we'll use that word, with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If so, maybe they're like a boss of yours or somebody of great significance in your life or influence in your life, or somebody that you admire that you kind of are looking at in a romantic sense. I don't know, but that's just what fell to the ground there. Anyway, Pisces, outcome, mid-October. Let's check it out. Mid-October outcome for Pisces, please. Please show me Pisces outcome in mid-October 2019. Please show me. Wow, we almost got to the end there. There it is. And maybe that's why. Because that was towards the bottom of the pile, huh? Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. All right, let's flip everything that came face down for you guys today. Oh, man. You got a lot of majors. What's going on? Well, I've asked the question, so let's figure it out. Please show me where Pisces is in mid-October. This is going to drive me crazy. Here we go. Please show me where Pisces is in mid-October 2019. Please show me Pisces in mid-October 2019. Please show me. Okay, thank you. We got it. Coming in to mid-October, Pisces. I don't know what is wrong with me. We come in with a Hierophant in reverse, Major Arcana for Taurus. Some of you might be dealing with a Taurus, but you don't have to be. And I just show you that upright so you can get a better look at the artwork. All right, guys. So in the reverse, listen. Well, first of all, look at the scene here. It's like a classroom in reverse. So some of you, late October, maybe you got a Halloween party. I think Halloween's on a Thursday today. So if you're in college and you got them Thursday classes, you might not be going. So if you're not, ditching class, it could be that you're, and this is not well, in some ways it is. The Hierophant can be a card about higher learning or higher perspectives or gaining knowledge from like a sage-like person or someone of respect and admiration in a particular area, in a particular walk of life. And so some of you might be sort of turning your back on that, or you're having problems with someone in that capacity. So again, if this is college, instead of maybe skipping class, maybe you're just having issues with your professor. You might be having issues in terms of, getting your grades posted, or you're arguing about a paper that you've submitted, something like that. But it does feel, particularly this reversal feels very adversarial. So if it's not directly towards someone you admire, a teacher, a boss, a mentor, something like that, I feel that you're having adversarial issue with expectations and decorum in your life, expectations in your work, expectations in your family, the decorum of society. Some of you are you're like political activists, or, what are they? And I don't mean this in a negative way, but this is just like a term that people use. Like, some of you might be legit social justice warriors, where you're out there picketing, you're out there petitioning, you're out there speaking to media outlets, you're out there on Twitter, going in on a particular cause, whether you're to the left or to the right, it really doesn't matter. But there's this idea of the rules, because that's what the Hierophant represents: the rules, the regulation, the structure of society, the structure of a corporation, the structure of a university, the structure of a church, or any type of religious doctrine or congregation. It doesn't have to be Christianity. It could be a synagogue, it could be a mosque, it could be a yoga retreat, whatever. You are really rubbing up against and butting heads, like, because again, this is represented by Taurus, so like butting heads like a bull, like a bull would in a fight with someone. So some of you are having really adversarial energies with either specific people, like I said, teachers, bosses, mentors, something like that, or just the heads of state or the heads of institutions. So you could be doing your social justice work on a college campus. You could be writing letters to, deans of a college, or chaplains, or presidents of a college, or, if you're like impassioned about, and I just saw this, or I didn't even see it, but like I heard it. I was like walking past the television and I heard this, something about, and this is actually groundbreaking, I think. I don't know if it's for all, but it was college athletes will be paid for their work. Beautiful, in my opinion. Because I didn't study this, but it came up several times, because I went to a very big university, and they have a huge athletic program at this college that I graduated from, and we talked about it throughout my entire college career, how this school gets so much money off of the backs of these kids that are essentially just students trying to play ball or play football or basketball or whatever. So, and then if you really think about, I'm slightly on a tangent here, Pisces, but I want to sort of connect this back to this social justice thing. Take college football, which is huge in America. For those who may not know, it's huge. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And what is it fueled on? The notoriety and the success of college students, people who are cutting their teeth in the world, people that are supposed to be going to bio labs, but because they're athletes, they get excused and they go down, shoot some hoops, throw scrimmages, or play scrimmages, and do all the other shit. And so the NCAA, the colleges themselves, all these people make buku bucks off of the efforts of these kids. They never get paid. They get stipends, and there's plenty of documentaries out there about this that you guys could watch, or literature that you could read, where a lot of them, they don't even have like the basic meal program at their school, because like lots of colleges, they give you meal plans or you can sign up for a meal plan. They don't provide that. Many of them, either they live in dorms or they can't live in dorms or whatever, and like they're eating like ramen. Most college kids, but they legit are suffering financially. Like, they get the scholarship to go to school, but they don't get like any of the other perks, something like that. So, funneling this back to Pisces in this Hierophant reverse and doing this social justice thing, you could be that college person, or you could be one of those college athletes that like advocate for this, or have been advocating for better treatment of athletes, something like that. Whether it's specific to that or something else, I feel that Pisces is in the mood to fight, and the way that Pisces fights is through empathy, through feeling empathy and sympathy for other people. I feel that your cause, if you're fighting for a cause, or if you're in the throes of in the throes, I was going to say in the throes of passion. No, that's not it. If you're in the midst, or in mixing it up with people, even if you're fighting for yourself, you're also fighting for the impact of what will happen to those who follow you. So if this is really just you sitting down trying to figure things out with your boss, being like, listen, the stipulation that if you do this, it counts as it goes on your, like, it counts as a write-up at this job. Do you know, and you might be sitting down and like, listen, in this situation, if you want to write me up or write people up because of this policy that's on the books here at our company, you have to understand where everybody's coming from. Like, maybe it's about like public transportation. Like, maybe you work a job where a lot of people take public transportation and you see a lot of people are getting written up, and it's just like, I don't know. This is like coming across in so many different ways. Even if it affects you directly, Pisces, whatever change you're after or whatever recognition that you're after, it has deeper impact or wider scattering impact, okay? Rippling, not scattering, rippling. They're showing me like wave or little ripples in the waves, right? So that's your approach. Thank you. Page of Cups. Pages, cutting their teeth, much like I was saying with that huge diatribe I had about college. You don't have to be a college student or even a young person to be a page or to relate to this general, even though it's general, you can still be a person of age, of a significant age, and still relate here. But pages, the energy of a page, regardless of how old the individual actually is one that's earnest. It's very honest. It's very full of optimism and gumption and can-do attitude. It's spirited. It's insightful. It's inventive. You know, it's very, pardon me, it's an energy of looking at the problem and trying to source a solution. And pages traditionally are students because they're still learning. As much as they're out there trying to put forth answers and create solutions or find solutions, they're also still open to information and open to learning things that they might not already know, okay? So Page of Cups, that's already you, water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I feel that you are not claiming to be any type of expert in whatever you're dealing with, Pisces. I don't think that you're stepping in there trying to throw your weight around. And it's like, well, with my 18 years of experience here on Earth as a freshman in college, I know all the answers. No, I don't think any of you are pulling that card, so to speak, right? But you are endeavoring to offer some type of change or offer a perspective that hasn't been considered before to an institution, to a specific person within an institution, towards someone or something that has a long history of doing things a certain way, of behaving a certain way. And I feel this is very big. Like, this scope is like macro. So again, like social justice, even community interests, like within your town or your city. Global in some of your cases. Maybe some of you out there, oh, I don't know her last name, but isn't that girl's name like Greta, that young girl who just gave that speech at the UN? You know, that's like how this feels. This could be still very localized to you. You could be doing this with your grandmother or your grandparents. You know, grandma, grandpa, listen, your traditions, great. However, going forward, this is what I think we should do to consider that, you know, the young cousins don't necessarily agree. You know what I mean? You're really trying to either incite, maybe not incite. Well, maybe some of you might be, but incite, but provoke or somehow encourage some type of change, or you're trying to bridge a gap. Something like that. Peacekeeping, essentially. But again, I feel a lot of you do have a personal vested interest in whatever you're pursuing. It benefits you, but that's not your motivation. Not primarily, or at least not only. You're not only doing it because Pisces will benefit. And again, I always ask in these videos, somebody please point me in the direction of the Pisces that's the asshole. I have yet to meet a Pisces that is an asshole through and through. Yet. If you're out there, raise your hand, put yourself down in the comments, because I would love to meet them, because I've never met a Pisces that truly, truly, truly seeks to be selfish. Ever. But that's just me. Maybe you are that Pisces. Maybe you know that Pisces. I don't know. Now, that's here. Now, if you've been with my channel for a while, you know what I'm about to say. If not, welcome. This is what I call a triplet. I have laid this spread intending to have 4 cards on the board. You see that you have 5 in your main spread. You have a triplet because you have 2 cards in one position, making this lovely little triangular shape. It often tells a story that is either supplemental or complementary to what we discuss in the outside cards, what I consider the quote-unquote outside cards. I mean, just the cards that are not in the triplet. What's going on in your triplet, though, Pisces? Well, yeah, it might be complementary. Because, yeah. Yes. It's kind of going on this horizontal line here, where we have this Hierophant in reverse, you seeing, you're seeing something as either being disabled, unfair, not as powerful as it was, or not as powerful as it should be, something like that. And it's you don't like it the way it is, the Hierophant. And the deeper context of that, or the deeper meaning, context is better. We'll go with context. Is the 9 of Cups and the Death card. Death card, major arcana for Scorpio, so you might have a Scorpio of significance in your life, but you don't have to be. And 9 of Cups. I think that there is an issue here, potentially, of someone being greedy and needing to change that, or being in the midst of changing that, or being challenged or encouraged to change and then being resistant to it. The 9 of Cups, when we talk about it by itself, is usually a pretty normal card. It's one of the cards of, wish fulfillment, and the things that we've been wishing for, praying for, manifesting, they start to take life and they start to come into fruition, right? That's usually what the 9 of Cups means by itself. In tandem, though, and look at the posture of the woman on the card, this 9 of Cups is, because that's another part of the 9 of Cups, is stingy, standoffish, detached, miserly, okay? So she's got those 9 cups on the wall, but her arms are crossed in front of her, and then look at her face. Hey, 9 of Cups, could I have one of those cups? No, these are my cups. You can't have them. And they're not pentacles, so you might be thinking, well, who would want a cup? Well, cups usually house emotions and wishes or dreams, right? The things that we want deepest in our hearts. So I feel that if you're dealing with a singular person, they're like a gatekeeper or just an industry or an institution. You have a person or several people there that are safeguarding what has already been earned, what is treasured, what is viewed to be sort of the lifeblood of, again, an institution, of that person's life, whatever it is. And they will not let it go, not easily, or they don't want to change it, not without something in return. So I'm feeling a need to negotiate with this person, or negotiate with these people, or negotiate with these corporations or what have you. But, with death right next to it, that's a power play. This person or the people involved here, they're power players. They're not... They're very versed in rejecting suggestions. They're very versed and experienced in telling people no. Or telling people, we would love to do that, and we will consider it, or we will consider your suggestions as your business is very important to us. That canned response, that bullshit response that companies, those what do you call them? Press releases and stuff. There's nothing more that ABC company cares more about than the local families, And it's just like, it's hot air. It's a thing to cover their ass. They release these statements. They send out the spokesperson. They make a little, apology video and they post it on social media, whatever. It's hot air. Death. Death is about transformation. Death is about moving from one phase to another phase, or moving from one image to another, presentation to another, right? Scorpio, not a specific Scorpio in your life. I'm not talking about a specific person, just the attributes of the sign, is the master of reinvention. You know, she's not one, but think of Madonna. Madonna's a Leo, but think of Madonna. If you know anything about her, if you don't, go Google her. Just Google something Madonna through the years in photos. Look how often that chick changes her appearance. Or even someone like Lady Gaga, who, you know, for right now, is probably this generation's Madonna, right? You know, Madonna starts out as like that blonde-haired woman in lace, and she's got the sunglasses and the bangles and all this other shit. Then she goes into like her like a prayer phase where she's got the dark hair, she's the long hair looking like Mary Magdalene or some shit like that, right? Then you can flash forward to that whole period where she spoke like she was from the UK. She had an English accent, right? And now she's what, like 60 something, and she's back to blonde hair. And I think the last image I saw of her, she has an eye patch during one of her concerts or whatever. Like, who are you? And it's not a knock, but like that's what this person or that's what this institution is doing. It's like a shell game. It's like they shift and they remold themselves, or they rebrand themselves, or they go out and they do like an ad campaign to drum up good press. But internally, have they changed? Not really, because that Nine of Cups with the Death shows, I will give you the face of change. I will give you the face of transformation, but am I truly, truly, truly going to come up off of what I value, come up off of what I've already earned, come up off of historically what has worked for us in the past for generations and decades and all that shit? No. So that's why you're in this social justice phase, because you're coming up against a Goliath in the Hierophant that is not easily defeated, or is not easily daunted, is not easily changed with the Death card. Resistant to it. And I'm saying, you know, again, this is like very macro, very big picture that I feel it. But this, again, can apply to your local communities. It can apply to your family. It can apply to your friend circle. You could have a friend who historically has been a certain way, and you find it to be detrimental to your relationship with them, or their own personal health, emotional health, mental health, and you might encourage them, hey, why don't you go do this? And they might say, yeah, I will, but then they won't. Or they might tell you, you know, a good story. You might encourage them, oh, I think you should go see a therapist. And they might tell you, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then you check back with them. Did you see a therapist? Oh, yeah. Or they'll say, oh, I didn't have time. Or, you know, it's just like they give you the shuffle, a little shuck and jive. But is real change afoot? Probably not. Now, you, again, because I think we're going in this horizontal line here, Pisces, you also bring in the Judgment card. Now, this is double Scorpio, because Death is Scorpio, and then this is the secondary for Scorpio. So, for some of you, a Scorpio or scorpionic tendency, scorpionic energy is important to you. Now, Judgment, you want a rebirth. You want a revitalized connection. If we're talking about a specific person, you might want to start from square one with your friend, or with your colleagues, with your professor, whomever. All right, you might want to, you know, let's start this over. I said some things, you said some things. Let's just get this back to, you know, a neutral starting point between us. And the bigger scale, I'm feeling this is, you want a whole rewrite, essentially, of history. Like, again, I'm getting like this social justice thing. I don't care what your affiliations are. I don't care what you believe in terms of policies, in terms of your political affiliations. I don't care. But you definitely have this deep feeling, Pisces, that something here isn't right. It's not serving the masses. It's not effective for this community. It's not helpful towards these people. Therefore, it needs to be rewritten. It needs to be reconsidered. It needs to be, in some cases, with death being there, and Judgment sometimes can talk about the reckoning, right? What happens in the reckoning? Some people ascend, other people stay back and, experience the end of days firsthand, right? So sometimes it's about putting people in their place and seeing them punished for, quote unquote, their sins. Now, I'm using a lot of rhetoric and imagery that I don't necessarily relate to because I wasn't raised religiously and I only know a little bit about it, truly. I've not outwardly studied Christianity, but if you know that rhetoric, if you know those images or that imagery, you get what I'm saying, where you, Pisces, if not the agent, because I don't think that some of you might, I don't get the sense that you guys are seeing yourselves as like, a judgment, like the person who passes judgment, but you might be anticipating this person, this entity, or excuse me, this industry or these figureheads to get their comeuppance. And you're waiting with bated breath. You're waiting with anticipation to see these people fall, to see these people held accountable for, again, quote unquote, their sins, okay? Some of you, you're on committees, you're on panels, review boards, you're on Twitter, maybe some of you are speaking in public, maybe you're on national news, you're a pundit or, somebody who's talking to CNN or Fox News or whatever, BBC, it doesn't matter. And some of you are actually trying your best to see people punished, to see people held accountable for what they're doing or what they're not doing, because we can have some inaction here, right? Pisces, you're doing it. Because it takes a certain amount of bravery to do this. It takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of willingness to be criticized on the back end or criticized and like I have used the term, but I haven't meant it maliciously, but some people use it maliciously. Social justice warrior. A lot of people use that maliciously. I haven't intended that, but that can be a dirty word to some people. And if people are calling you that, or they're using it with intent to hurt you, with intent to degrade you, I feel that you're able to stand up in the face of that adversity. And I think I said that here. Facing adversity, something like that. Good for you, Pisces. You go out there and you do it. Now your outcome for mid-October is the Wheel of Fortune. Fixed sign energy here with the Wheel of Fortune, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Virgo. So that's triple Scorpio if you want to count the fixed sign here. So I don't know if you have a lot of Scorpio in you. I don't know if there is any activity with Scorpion planets right now. So Mars and Pluto. But yeah, man. Also, Wheel of Fortune deals with Sagittarius, so maybe Sagittarius as well. But it's a general. Don't stick to the signs if they don't fit. Okay. Now, Wheel of Fortune is kind of like there's this whole thing of people getting their dues, or a person, or like I said, an institution or an industry or a business getting their dues, and it feels like, for you, Pisces, where you're standing, it feels like this is happening at the exact right time. This is when it needs to happen. These people, that person, they are due some type of loss or basically they're going to reap what they have sown, right? Is how that feels. If this person, this group of people, whatever, have done bad deeds, the Wheel of Fortune is coming to deliver on that promise or deliver on that energy that has been placed into the universe of bad deeds, right? A lot of times we talk about divine timing with the Wheel of Fortune as well. And so it feels for me, or at least for me, from your perspective, this is how I'm taking it. From Pisces' perspective, it feels like, in some of your cases, you're going to feel, oh my God, this has been, finally, it's like, oh my God, we've been waiting for this, or I've been waiting for this. Like, I'm feeling like waiting for a result, waiting for someone to have a realization, waiting for someone to, like I said, over here with judgment, be punished. And it feels like, oh my God, this could have happened 10 days ago and it still wouldn't have been soon enough. Like some of you are really anticipating some type of change or some type of conclusion to a situation, because we do have a 10 here. So that equals some type of situation being wrapped up. In other cases, you kind of are chuckling to yourselves a little bit, Pisces. You're reveling in the... Because I feel if someone gets punished or gets comeuppance, gets some type of... Even if it's not punished, maybe it's just like a fine or like, you know, a decision that isn't favorable. Like many of you, not all of you, but many of you are like on the inside, like crack. All right, Pisces, I apologize about that. We're almost done here. So yeah, some of you on the inside, you're just like cracking up. You're just like having such joy seeing people find out that their favor, the fortune that they thought was on their side, is now depleted. So maybe this is the asshole Pisces I've been waiting to see, that you're smiling at somebody else's misfortune. And, you know, if that's the worst you've got, Pisces, in terms of being an asshole or a dick or whatever negative moniker you could throw at a person, that's not too bad, considering the other ways that people can be not so nice, okay? And it might feel a little awkward to do that for you, because some of you, like I said, I've been talking in like a bigger scope, but again, this can be very localized to your life. This could be like family and friends. This could be people that you see every week at church, or people that you see when you go to the grocery store. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, because it's easy to laugh when it's like someone that you know, but you don't know them, like a politician or a businessman or a public figure, something like that. It's easy to laugh at those people. It's easy to not wish them ill will, but if things don't go their way, go, ah ha ha. See, that's what happens when you don't, you know, and pass that judgment. It's easy to do that when you don't know the person on a personal level. If you do know these people or that person on a personal level, I feel that you're going to be guilty or feel guilty for having a chuckle. So there we go again with this. I don't know, Pisces, that's an outright asshole. I could be wrong. And I'm always expecting to be wrong, actually. If you've had a personal with me, you kind of know that already. Now, your overall energy, Pisces, is the Sun, secondary major arcana for Leo. It might be a Leo of significance in your life, but it doesn't have to be. Overall, happy days. Happy days are here again. I've heard that song sung by somebody else. It's not, if that's a real song, I don't know it, but I'm singing what I've heard someone else on TV sing. Anyway, happy days are here again. So I feel from your perspective, things are coming up roses. Things are coming out in a very positive way. Even if someone else is suffering, even if someone else is lost, even if someone else is feeling betrayed or feeling that they're being punished for things that they shouldn't be punished for, blah, 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 whatever. From your standpoint, that's perfect. And it brings you joy. I shouldn't bring you joy. It makes you happy. Not that they're suffering, not that they're upset, not that they've lost money, not that they're losing face or anything like that. It makes you happy because, especially if we go back to what I said, I feel that many Pisces are out here wanting these changes as the changes will benefit others. So that's why it makes you smile. It's good for me. It's a good result for me personally, but it's also good for the community. It's also good for my fellow students. It's also good for my fellow employees. It's also good for everybody else in this family. If aunt whoever or uncle whoever down here with the Hierophant in reverse stops acting like a blah, blah, blah in public and starts realizing that you can't say those remarks, you know what I mean? It's just like, again, back to what was happening earlier, the ripple effect of the outcome, or the ripple effect of the happiness and the contentment and the optimism that you might feel from that Sun card, it filters out into everybody else around you, or everybody else in this situation, okay? Pisces, that is the reading for mid-October. If you liked it, the like button is down below. Go ahead and hit that for me. You can also leave comments on the video letting me know how it resonated in your life. You guys know I love that stuff. You can also share the video across your social media platforms, especially if you're out there being a social justice warrior. And you can subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, making sure to hit the notification bell. Pisces, I will be back soon doing the November readings. I'll probably at some point do those no communications readings. People seem to really enjoy those, so I will definitely do them again. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. All right, Pisces, thank you so much for watching this video today. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Bye.